Hey there, welcome to the Genius Playground. I'm Ann Rose Hart, and today's question is about tithing. A reader writes in that they were reading about the concept of tithing and that the author had suggested that when you tithe, that the money will flow in to replace what's going out because you are coming from a place of generosity. And in her experience, she started tithing and then all of these other weird bills started coming up and the stove went out and the brakes went out and all these bizarre things started happening that increased her expenditures as well. So let's just talk about this for a moment in terms of the energetics of how this works. So as you step into a new belief system that says, oh, if I'm part of the universal flow of energy and abundance and there's always enough, and I'm now taking a step in the direction of embodying my abundance by demonstrating that I believe there's enough to give from a place of generosity. Now, the universe brings the experiences to you that help you see clearly where you have unconscious beliefs or habits in place that are based in not enoughness, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you are causing the stove to go out or the brakes to go out. It's not a cause and effect thing. It's a mirror thing where the universe is always mirroring back to us everything that we need in order for our growth. And in this case, it's just mirroring back the experience of not enoughness. So as soon as I started giving money in this way, it lacked in this way. So then you stop tithing and now it's coming from this old habit, this old perception that it's a zero-sum game, that if I give some here, there's less for other things, okay? So that said, ha, 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 like you just tipped the apple cart and disrupted the hypnotic rhythm of your past experience. And any time, whether it's tithing or visibility or love or health, any time we decide I'm stepping into a new reality, it's like everything comes up as a test. I don't always like the word test. However, life will mirror back to you the habits of thinking and ways of being of where you've been, so that one by one you get to choose, how do I embody abundance in this scenario and this scenario and this scenario and this scenario? And we get a chance to put it all under the microscope to say, all right, I believe in infinite abundance. Money goes out. There must be always more coming in. Oh, now my brakes went out. If I'm a person who's always in abundance and trusting that there is more than enough and I am more than enough and there's more than enough for me to give and receive and have a solid foundation of safe, reliable transportation, what does that feel like in my body? And how do I show up in this scenario? Same thing with the stove, same thing with the weird bills. And so for you to notice, first of all, it's like, here comes the circumstance, the external circumstance. Let's just use the brakes going out. Boom, and it bumps into your energy field. And you, by nature, by habit, constrict, like, uh-oh, this must be evidence that I'm going to need more money. And I don't know if I have the capacity to believe that there's enough money. I'm going to constrict, I'm going to contract, because I'm not feeling safe. And now, boom, here comes the other one from the other side. Here comes the stove, like, no, my stove went out. And I don't know if I actually believe that there's enough money for me to have a stove and brakes and tithe. Like, I just got into constriction. Can you feel that? These experiences bumped into your energy field. So first step is to reclaim your power. Breathe. Open up your energy field again. There's nothing funny. I get it. There is nothing funny. And yet this contraction expansion, our laughter becomes our power tool for expanding our energy field, expanding your breath, expanding your posture, embodying the expansion, okay? So, ha, 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 brakes went out. If you're a woman that believes that you are truly supported to have reliable transportation and generosity of giving through tithing, How do you respond instead of reacting from contraction? Responding from the expansion, knowing there's more than enough money. I can be resourceful. I can be asking for what I need. I could be getting creative in selling things or sharing my gifts in exchange for money. I could be offering new services. I could step up my game in my business. I could just ask for help and support. There's ways that money can come if I'm not contracted, okay? So to keep breathing in and then taking the actions that are resourceful, knowing that there is an infinite supply of abundance and money for all that you need, but you get to show up in an expanded state instead of the contracted state. So it's always going to be this two-step process of noticing what happened in life that caused you to contract and go into the conditioned habit of believing, I must constrict, I'm not safe, there's not enough, right? This is our default, and I think it helps if you have sound effects like that, right? Create space for your abundance in your cells. Now, the internal state is your first shift, the inner shift. And then I'm a resourceful person. Money is there for me. I need to ask for it. I need to show up for my life in a new way that perhaps I'm not accustomed to. So it feels scary. It feels foreign. However, there are resources. I could tap into this. I could tap into that. I can tap into sharing. I can tap into giving. I can tap into asking. So many ways that you could show up for this moment differently to illustrate to your nervous system that there is enough, and you can be resourceful in creating the resources that you need for there to be enough. So bottom line is, when it comes to tithing, there's one more element, and that is the deeper motivation for tithing. Because if there's an innate desire that I want to tithe because this is meaningful to me, I want to be sharing my resources for the purpose of expanding the abundance of all. And by giving in this way, that 10% of my income that I'm giving is going to something that I feel aligned with, that I feel amazing about supporting, because I am creating increase for all of us. If that motivation for tithing is coming from your heart, then it has a different feeling in your body. You notice the resonance of generosity. Generosity has a feeling to it. If, on the other hand, generosity is not the deepest motivation, but rather there's this intellectual belief that I read a book that said, if I give through tithing, then I'll get more because money out, money in. That is not actually coming from an energy of generosity. Technically, it may be true that there's a flow of abundance, but your energy is still, well, if I give, then I'll get. And that is not a magnetic energy. And so look at the real reason why tithing was showing up in your awareness. If it's coming from a genuine desire to support the increase of us all through 10% going to causes that are meaningful to you, that you feel amazingly open-hearted about, trust that and do your inner work on staying expanded in the face of all the bumpiness. But if the only reason you're really tithing is because you're hoping that you'll actually get more money, then don't tithe. Find another way to express generosity and circulate money in the flow. Find another way to fill your tank of enoughness besides needing money to demonstrate that you are enough. That is not what money is for. Money is there to support us in thriving, but money is not there to validate our worthiness. That's our own work that we get to do by deciding I'm more than enough and taking the actions that fill our own tank. And that's another topic for another video. But anyway, I hope this helps on the topic of tithing. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.